Valorant is apparently going to become available to everyone June 2nd.
Yeah, full release.
Full release out in the
They
wild.
move quick.
They
move real quick.
That was
They ain't
very
fucking
quick.
around. They're striking while the iron's hot.
The opposite of Mixer.
Yeah.
Who's going to be
fuck this.
trying to form a sword with cold metal. It's just not easy.
That game's gonna get even bigger come June 2nd, man.
So now that some of the honeymoon period has started to wear off on it, and people are starting to give a little bit more, seasoned opinions on the game. How do you feel the game is going to turn out in a year from now?
Well, I haven't played rank yet, so I haven't really. I've just been grinding Grand Theft, but yeah, I still think it's going to be the biggest esport on Twitch. It all depends on when Riot decides that they're going to start doing big tournaments and stuff, and how quickly they get the esports side of thing going. In terms of like Twitch viewership, it's going to be in the top 3 from here on out. I think it's cemented itself. It's simultaneously killed what was left of Overwatch, so that's done. And there are a ton of CSGO players recently in the last few weeks that have just announced retirement from Counter-Strike, and now we're going full-time in Valorant. And we're not talking small CSGO players. We're talking some really big CSGO players that are making the switch. I've been seeing more and more people, more and more tweets, those longer tweets. Dear fans, just want to let you know, blah, blah, blah. It's time for a change. And this didn't come lightly and yada, yada. I've been seeing more and more of that. This is going to boil down to how well Riot caters to their community, keeps the community involved, and how well they can run an esport. And you know what? They have a pretty fucking good track record. As much as I want to shit on Riot and their inner workings and the things that go on behind the scenes, these motherfuckers know how to run an esport better than anybody else on the planet. It's proven. I don't give a fuck what anybody... Are they perfect? Hell no. Have they done some dumb shit? Hell yeah. But have they stayed consistent, relevant, and the longevity? Dude, we're talking League of Legends now is going on like 8-9 years. This fucking game, this game is still going, and it ain't a small game. This thing is still one of the biggest esports on the planet, if not the biggest, in terms of like what they do all year round. So Riot's going to crush it, dude. Riot is going to fucking crush it. The game is going to be big. And, some of the hype has come down some. But even though the hype has come down, the game is still very relevant to this day. Most of the negativity that has come around Valorant is from the 24/7 streams that were just farming ads and shit from people trying to get codes. That's where the negativity came from. And that was more on Twitch's side than it was Valorant's side. Valorant was doing all the right things to get their game out. They played that fucking flawlessly. That was more of a Twitch issue. So that's really, and of course this whole anti-cheat thing, there's negativity around that, but that ain't stopping the vast majority of people playing this game, dude. So yeah, in a year from now, top 3. This is it. It's Riot's new piece.
I agree. I think it's going to. I think their biggest hurdle. I agree that anti-cheat's not going to stop it from doing anything. I think it's going to be something that people are going to pester them about until they fucking change it.
Yeah.
But I think that I think that a lot of it will come down to how the first tournament goes. Will determine, like, the real big one that they put on themselves.
Yeah.
Will determine
their LCS version.
Yeah. And a lot of that, I think, comes down to right now their biggest point of not biggest point of failure, but their weakest point right now in that regard would be the spectator mode is just not there. They don't have good enough spectator tools. They need far better spectator tools to aid the casters and the viewing experience as an esport. to really pop off on it. I mean, they can put on as many K-pop productions and shit as they want to push the shit out of these games or whatever the fuck they want to do and make a big deal out of it and have a massive arena with pyrotechnics and shit. But at the end of the day, you get into the game and it's hard to follow because the spectator tools aren't great and it's making it difficult for the commentators. Then
But
that's
I mean,
gonna
CS:GO is fine, right? So like,
yeah, but they have CS:GO has phenomenal fucking spectator.
yeah, I mean, if you think that fucking Riot is gonna pull a Blizzard with Overwatch and
Oh, I'm sure they're
this
gonna
shit,
do it. It's
bro,
just will
Riot
they
is
do
gonna
it up front before they
they're
launch their first major tournament?
Riot's gonna do some crazy shit, bro. This thing is gonna be huge.
So
This is gonna be huge.
yeah, I think the craziest thing to me will be that there's a good chance that by the summer of 2021, LCS summer splits and shit coming around, all the hype is going for most esports. The crazy thing to me is that Riot could have the number 1 and number 2 biggest esport, not just on Twitch but on the planet.
Yep.
And that's crazy.
And well, what's even crazier is they almost complement each other in a weird way.
Well, they're so
because
different.
They're so different, right? And you're still under that Riot umbrella, and both games are so big. And when you're grinding Valorant and say you get burnt out or you just don't want to deal with it, you just hop off back over to League. If you're playing League, I need a break from this, you're going to go over to Valorant. You're going to see a ton of it. It's going to keep them both relevant. The question is adding number 1 and number 2 esports, the biggest ones in the world, going to be too much for them? Are they juggling too much? Is the quality of one going to go down because there's more focus on the new beautiful girl in school that everybody wants a piece of? But are they going to forget that, hey, you know what? We still have this gem over here, even though League is in a really rough spot, like in terms of gameplay, like ladder. But that's never really changed anything. They still have the baby, the one.
League's been in that spot for 7 years and fucking
exactly. So, can they juggle both at the same time? We know they've got the smarts to do it, but do they have the team? Can they mimic this and do it? That's the question. And I think they can. And if they do, like you said, it's going to be number 1 and number 2, if not number 1 and number 3.
Yeah. Fuck. Cuz Dota really only pops up during TI.
That's it.
And that's the show. League consistently
all the time.
All the time.
Right now I go to Twitch, it's up there. You know what I mean?
Constantly.
It's been like that since the beginning.
Yeah.
It's wild.
You know what? I'm going to make a prediction. I think next year is going to be League of Legends' biggest year in the last 5 years.
I believe it.
I think that League is, because League is one of those things that just sticks around and doesn't go anywhere. I think it's due for, it's like a spike. You know what I mean? Like something sticks around long enough, it's bound to come back up. It's unlikely for it to drop, but once in a while, it'll really pop the fuck off, and then it will go back down to like it's like slumber. It just so happens that League of Legends slumber happens to be in the top 3 of Twitch, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think we're coming up on a big pop off for League. I feel it in my fucking bones, bro. I feel it, and I'm there for it, because you know what? I haven't really watched esports in like any major esport for any period of time in a long while, and the last time I did, I was watching League of Legends.
Yeah, and it's usually a good time,
and it was fucking fire.
Yeah, to the point where you can watch League and you go, I feel like playing League of Legends.
Which is crazy, because playing that game is AIDS.
Yes.
From top to bottom.
Full blown, too. Like, just full blown.
Just Magic Johnson levels.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Bad.
So, yeah, that's I think that's where we're at. I think next year, League pops off, and I think Valorant solidifies itself. It buries what's left of Overwatch. It takes a chunk out of CS:GO, and with those two combined powers, it pushes it into the top 3. If it not on a daily basis, which I don't think it will be, I think it will be kind of like the perennial kind of thing, like a CS:GO, where during the bigger times during tournaments, runs it up, falls off a little bit, runs up back up, and I think you're going to see it. You're going to see it up there. The fun thing will be to watch how Riot staggers the seasons so that League and Valorant don't cannibalize each other for viewership. Because you don't want to run that shit at the same fucking time, even though they're two totally different games.
Yeah.
Right?
Interesting. We'll see.
We'll see.